Okay, how's everybody doing? Woo! Well, I'm just enjoying the weather here in San Francisco. Everything is wonderful over here. So I'm gonna get right in. We have 50 minutes. And here we go. Okay. Hi. Oh, Gabe just came in here too. Okay. So basically, I'm gonna share this here. Yeah, someone hasn't been online in a while. Okay, so story-based, can you see my screen now?
Yep.
Yep, okay. So, because yeah, I hate doing this keynote on Mac. So I am, for those of you who haven't met me, I'm Scott Crowe. I created a series called Magic House and Magic Town, which are two sort of story-based teaching series. And so I created this series in demand for with sort of like there was a demand for it in my schools. I had started a chain a while back, and I we got our schools up to about 250 students, and then we plateaued for like 3 years, and we just couldn't, we spent a lot of money and doing all kinds of things, and we just couldn't get our schools to break that that 250 mark. And one of the patterns or the trends that we noticed was that the students, we were losing good students in like good kindergarten students. And so we thought, okay, well, why are these kindergarten students leaving? We took some surveys and all that stuff. And so what we had to we were mixing levels, right? So we were mixing levels because it was more efficient that way. We wanted to keep all the kindergarten students into one class, and I think pretty much, yeah, I think 90% of us do that, at least to a degree. And then so what was happening is that the newer kids would kind of come into that class, and then the general level of the class was affected by the newer kids coming into the class. So I I looked at all the different factors that were sort of leading to that, and I realized, like, yeah, we need to focus on the higher level kids. So then I started doing the lessons more towards the higher level students, and then the lower level students started becoming acting out, behaving sort of badly because they didn't know, you know they couldn't win any of the games that we were playing, and that. So then I started doing some research, and sort of came to the old story-based teaching conclusion. And yeah, so I got into that, and then teaching story-based in a story-based learning way is good, but I also discovered that it was actually very good for business as well. And I'm just going to go into that right now. So first of all, thank you, Adam, for filling us in on the benefits of story-based teaching. I had the ultimate pleasure of having Adam visit our school and do a training, and it was just so fun and so wonderful. So thanks very much. I love it. I just love learning from someone who just really knows what they're doing. So that was just really great, really clear. So thank you, Adam, and let's all give Adam a hand for today. Woo! Yay. Um, so today I'm going to go over why story-based teaching is powerful, how, a little quickly, how I explain it to the parents, and a little sample of a story fleshed out, so you can see how I built these stories, and then how story-based teaching can lead to organic and explicit growth of your school. Organic means kind of growing in a natural way, and explicit is just a word that I use to sound smart. And then we'll also go over educationally sound level mixing. Okay, so why is story based teaching powerful? and I'll ask a few questions to sort of demonstrate why it is powerful. So the first question is, and you can answer verbally, or I'm not good at reading, so if you write in the chat, I might not see it. So if you can answer verbally, that would be great. But I will try to, squint and look at this, the chat as well. So the question is, if you want a Japanese child to learn to speak English naturally, what is the best way, and how often? Oh, no. What is the best way? What do you think?
Story-based teaching.
Story-based teaching. Yep. Anyone else?
Give them things that they need to say.
Yep.
That they want to say, sorry.
Anyone listening? So we got Gabe, listening stories, conversational games. Even if you don't say the answer out loud, think of an answer. What would you think is your answer? All right. So
sorry, I was going to say meaningful interaction.
Meaningful interaction. Okay.
Yeah. I was going to say make them laugh.
Make them laugh. Yeah, that's a good one for sure. So we got yes. There you go. Yeah. So my answer to that is to send them to America and put them in a kindergarten in America. Who would agree to that? I do. Yay. So when I do this live, people have to run away. They try to choke me because it's like, wait a second, that's cheating. But I think we can agree that one of the best ways to get Japanese children to be able to speak language, to speak English naturally, would be to put them in a kindergarten with American children. And so why is that? And I'm not going to ask as many questions from now, because I just realized the time and we got to get scooting here. But so why is that? Well, if you put a child in a kindergarten and they're in the environment, they don't speak English at all, and they see the teacher saying "Jubidi wap," and then a kid gets a candy, right? And then they see a little kid saying "Jubidi wap," and then the kid gets a candy, right? And so then next day he sees the kid going to the teacher, "Jubidi wap," and he gets a candy, and he's like, "Wow, I really want a candy." And he goes to the teacher, "Jubidi wap," and the teacher gives him a candy. He's like, "Whoa, yay, that really works, great." So all of your answers are correct, in that when they're in that environment, they're immersed in an experience where they can see the language in use, and they can actually use it, and they can get what they want. Because a lot of times it's really, people speak because they want to get what they want, and having more complex grammar patterns will get them what they want more effectively and efficiently. And as adults, we like to think, well, we're better than that. We don't just say what we speak because we want to get what we want. But getting what we want could be getting respect, finding community, expressing yourself. All these are also things that we want as well. So communicating is a it's a great way to get what we want, and for children it's a lot more simple. So that's a good point to make, that if a child is in a kindergarten in Canada, America, English-speaking countries, then they will be able to speak faster. So here's the other point, is that when Japanese parents go to America, they don't think twice, right? They're like, yay, all right, woo, we're gonna put my child in a kindergarten with all these English-speaking kids, and they're a sponge, because kids are sponges. Yeah, he'll be fine, right? So they're happy with just throwing their kid into that environment, not worrying about what how they're gonna do, because they're like, this is the whole sponge thing, right? And so, and it's true, right? So then we come to Japan, right? And we're teaching here in Japan, and then and suddenly there's this thing where like, oh, we can't mix levels. Mixing levels is not good. However, they do mix levels when they go to America or Canada. They put the child into that environment. So I was always sort of thinking, well, how can I recreate that environment here? And so that obviously led to story-based teaching. So I'm going to now share my. Can you, oops. So can you see this now?
Yes.
Okay, great. So let's go into a little, yeah. And so for creating a story, one of the important things is using the same words that native speaking children use. And so I used a list called the Dolch word list, which is a list that was created from all of the native speaking children. It's the most frequently used words by native speaking children. And so I basically, what I did was I took those words and I reverse engineered them into stories so that the Japanese children as well would be able to, frequently use all the words that native speaking children use as well. And here's a quick sample of that. So what I did was I took that list, then I made a map, my Magico story map, and it broke down the story into all the different components, such as adjectives, feelings, some of the grammar points, expressions that might occur, some scenes, visual images that might happen with the story, vocabulary, phonics, sight words, and questions that we might be able to ask. And then, so one of the keys is also having this idea of united content so that all the language is connected to facilitate maximum target language exposure. So if you see here, I've got like the story is connected to the vocabulary connected to the TPR to the grammar to the phonics, and then the phonics to the song to the story. So everything, all the content is connected. And that's kind of why I made my own, because I started by using other stories, some famous stories, Gingerbread Man and all that stuff. And it just was so much work to gather all the different content to make the lessons as good as I wanted them to be. So I just decided to do that. And so here's a quick sample of how everything is kind of interconnected here. So with a sample of the grammar would be like, there's a spider, and then plus prepositions. So there's a spider under the bed, and the sight words, there would be there's or there is. And the, sorry, I'm not used to doing this on my computer. So in fact, I cannot see my screen. Okay. There. And so here, the song we use is there's a spider in my hair. So there's a little song there to practice the language as well. TPR, go to the bedroom, sleep, wake up, climb on the bed, open the window. And then in the story, he climbs on the bed, he opens the window, he sees the ladybug and a spider, he runs away because he's scared. And then our vocabulary is also obviously insects and then bedroom objects. And here's the story one of the stories that I created to demonstrate that. So this is Jimmy. This is Jimmy's house. This is Jimmy's room and his mom. Open your window. It's a sunny day, said Jimmy's mom. Okay, said Jimmy. He climbed onto the bed to open the window. He looked out the window, and we don't have time to go through this whole story. Ding. And then we do the TPR. So the kids, we all have them stand up together. We go to the bedroom. Go to the bedroom, sleep, climb on the bed, open the window, look outside. And because we're doing it in order of the narrative, it's very easy for the children to remember the order of the story and the actual story. Ryan, you were saying that you remember the story, but that was different from the language. And in this case, it's the same. The kids, they know the content of the story, but they may not be able to say all of the words. So in the same sense, when we do gestures with the language and act out the story as like story TPR, then in over a few weeks time, the kids remember the story, but they also remember the language. So then I could do just gestures, and then my students can tell me the story, and then I can make mistakes with my story and check their comprehension. So like, I'm sleepy, I'm gonna go to the kitchen. No, go to the bedroom. Okay. And that's the TPR. And then we play games using the insect cards, with insects and bedroom. And the song is also connected. And then we have a few, these are the games that we play. So the Are You a Spider game, and then a prepositions hide and seek game where we hide the insects under certain things like the pillow or the bed in the room, and the kids have to find them. So this kind of shows, and then there's the craft. And so the craft I think are very important, and I'll explain how and why those are one of the most important elements to this idea of organic growth of your schools through story-based learning. So with I'll just take a look. So this spider one, they cut out the spider, they color their spider so they can describe it. My spider is blue, my spider is green. They clip it on a clothespin, and then they can clip it on their shirt. And so often they'll clip it on the teacher's shirt, and then because they've learned it, they all say, "Hey, there's a spider, and then the teacher goes, "Whoa, oh my gosh." And and then we teach them to do that at home as well, so they're bringing the language home. And then we have our the phonics is also built into it, obviously, because of it's such a important and also popular thing to teach, and it's a great marketing point as well, because everybody kind of expects it now. So and the phonics is obviously also connected to the content of the story. So here you could see the insects, and then they're as the anchor pictures, and then the phonetic sounds beside it. Yep. And so then each week, the children are given homework that stimulates their cognitive abilities, as well as reviews target language. So pattern recognition, numbers, just all, some of the things that help them develop their cognitive abilities as well. And so then we get into the idea of the mixed levels. So having different levels within each class. And I'm going to show you a video which shows a class. It's quite a new class, only about a year and a bit, but there's also students in the class who've just started. So you'll just watch their level of engagement. And I'm going to skip this one here because we're running out of time. Yeah, so basically, when you're setting up story-based learning, you have to think about the idea of what is the progress of the language that the children are going to be following. So they'll learn words, and then words plus one. So they might learn a dog, a cat, or some rice, some French fries. Then half, I wrote here words half sentence, and I made this chart like before I knew any terminology, but this is chunking. So having real nice usable chunks on the bed, under the bed, in the box, and they're not. It's not a complete sentence, but it's very usable language that is not Tarzan language. I think a lot of times when we start out our journeys as teachers, we like I've heard like these beautiful, perfect native speaking wonders. We native speakers are so good at English, and yet for some reason in like the first 2 months of teaching English, people start going like, dog, you like, good, good dog, yes, no, yes, good. And we talk like Tarzan. I don't know why that happens, but man, it's so amazing. It's just so amazing. So grading our language is a good idea, but grading it in a way that is natural is a better idea. So being aware of what are the chunk progressions, what's the first stage, what's the next stage, and how are you going to level those up? If you can understand, if you can get good at that, then you'll be the master of mixing levels in a very educationally sound way. So here's just a quick example. So single words would be spider, then a spider, there's a spider, and there's a spider under the bed would be a full sentence. So we want to build the children towards being able to make full sentences, but not in a way that is heavy or creates a lot of cognitive load. We want them to naturally make the jump themselves. And so what we do is we'll do a lot of asking questions, and then we'll also do a lot of recasting. And so if you're not familiar with the term recasting, it's basically like feeding back language. If children make mistakes, then it's sort of feeding back language in a way that they can hear correct language, but not in a way that makes them feel like they're being corrected. So, and there's a lot of different ways to do recasting. So this is, for children, I'm talking specifically for smaller children here. So we would say something like, oh, okay, I'm scared. Why? Oh, there's a spider. Where? Under the bed. And so then I can, after a few weeks, we'll play the prepositions game. So I'll have a spider hidden under the pillow, spider hidden under the bed, or a bee hidden under the bed. And then I'll ask my students, okay, hey guys, where is the spider under the bed? Oh, wait, sorry. I'll be say, I'm scared. And then they'll say, watch out. Why? There's a spider. So my students will say, there's a spider. And I'll say, where? There. Where? Under the bed. And so we keep repeating this question process again and again. So I'm always saying, okay, they say, watch out. Why? There's a spider. Where? Under the bed. And so eventually they get so tired of this question process that they just, before I even start the thing, they say, watch out, there's a spider under the bed. Stop asking me all these questions. And that's kind of what we want. We wanted to get to that point where they choose to make the jump into the longer sentences, and they do that nicely. So here's a quick look at the Dolch word list, one part of it. So a lot of these words are very, the meaning is kind of vague and difficult to teach. So when I'm explaining this to our curriculum to the parents, I'll say, I'll ask them, okay, so how would you teach the word apple? And then they say, okay, well, I'll show them an apple or apple picture. Yeah, great. And how would you teach them the word jump? What do you think, guys? How would you teach the word jump?
Make them jump.
Yeah, there you go. Make them jump. I'm just going to skip the questions because, frankly, I can't. When I open the Keynote on my Mac, I can't see the chat. So sorry about that. So basically, yeah. If you want to teach the word jump, what's the best way to do that? I ask the mothers, and then they say, jump. Yes, that's right. Good. Yeah. So jump, run, touch your head. And then I say, okay, so if you're teaching adults, how would you teach them the English word for taisetsu? The English word for how would you teach them that if you're teaching adults? And I make them kind of think, well, what do you guys think? You could just think about it. What do you think would be the fastest way to convey the meaning of the word taisetsu, which is it's important. The word is important.
Gabe says do a game that requires them to use the word.
Do a game that requires them to use the word. Okay, great.
For adults, you probably just tell them the word important?
In
You say important.
but to convey the meaning.
So I would
Say the
probably
word taisetsu.
how about
Okay.
giving give some examples and elicit the word from the examples?
Right. So the very fastest way, I think Jared just said it there, is just translate. Just say, if you're teaching adults and you say, okay, the the word is important, and it's taisetsu. Okay, done. Right. So I think we can agree that not the best way, but the fastest way would probably be to just use translation. And then I explained to the parents, however, we can't use that for our students, because if we start speaking Japanese, then our students will, if we translate, our students would just say like, taisetsu ne, ne, この前な、僕のお父ちゃんがな、お母さんに時計もらったんだけどね、で、それをちょっとなくした。で、それがすごく大切だったのになくしたってお母さんが言った。And so, these stories, like kids just start talking, and so we can't use Japanese. What's that?
I know that kid.
You know that kid. I know that kid. We all know that kid. That kid needs a bit of tape on his mouth. But anyway, so we can't use Japanese for a lot of reasons, and I think we can all agree to that. But my point that I make it to the parents is that it's also challenging. It's challenging to teach language. So then I do a quiz. Okay, so everybody, what is the most used word in the English language? What do you think? Most used word in the English language. If you've been to my seminars, you probably shouldn't.
I know.
You know. So let's go. Say no de. The, exactly. So the is the most used word in the English language, and by a long shot. It's like double number 2. So it is the most used word in the English language, but it is also the most boring word in the English language. And it's also arguably the most difficult to teach, especially to Japanese people. So I say this to the parents, like, okay, so the word "the" is like you, and I do this quiz with the parents, right? And they're to create engagement in the sales process. And when they get answers right, like, show them an apple. Oh yeah, great job. Making them feel good about winning, getting a few points. But then I say, okay, so if we're trying to teach, if "the" is the most important word in the English language, how do we teach that, right? So we show them a picture of the picture. What is the picture for "the"? Not, we don't have a picture. What is the gesture? "The." We can't make a gesture for that. And even if we try to use translation, it doesn't even exist in Japanese. So we can't use translation either. So how do we do it? And I tell them, like, my story. This is the story I'm going to tell you. So I also was puzzled by this question. And I, because I really wanted my Japanese students to be speaking naturally, native speaker style, or use the language they have in a natural way. And so I went back to Canada, and I saw some kindergarten children, friends of the family or whatever, and I asked them. I said, hey guys, what does the word "the"? They're like, yeah. What does it mean? And they're like, I don't know. What? You just used that word like 5 times in the last like 2 minutes. Like, you must know. And they're like, no, we just use it because we want to. So I explained to the Japanese parents that, so if you want to speak language like a native speaker, you don't necessarily need to understand the words grammatically speaking. And there's a lot, that's a very generalization, but basically that lets them, this is part of the sales organic growth thing. And that's kind of like defense against the juku in a little bit of the way, because jukus are always saying, we can teach such and such a grammar and this and that. And they're always using grammar in their sales. And so here we just sort of, dissipate that rumor that grammar is king. and because it is definitely not. So yeah, so once I run them through that, then I explain, okay, so now I show them the story that I just showed you, and I say, now, so when our children, we do the TPR, right? And so we go to the bedroom, sleep, wake up, climb on the bed, open the window. And then after a few weeks, your children, they'll be able to say this story. Now, if you look at the story, how many times do you see the word the? And they're like, whoa, like 4 times. Exactly. So if we ask your children, okay, you just said the word the 4 times, what does it mean? They'd probably say, 知らない。でも何回も使ってるで、使いたいから使っただけ. So conveying that we can create an environment that our students will be able to feel the use of language in a very similar way to how native children use language, in that it's an emotional, it's an emotional thing for them, or a reactional thing. So here, this shows how I've sort of mapped out the use of all the words throughout the books, and made sure that every word occurs at a high level of frequency throughout the series. Okay, so now getting into, so any questions about that so far?
I noticed that you grade your language, like it's simple, but you do still have things like past tense and stuff.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah. So yeah, actually, if you just look here. So if you look here, it might not be in here. Yeah, so you'll see said, there's the word said in here. And on the second list, there is ate and drank. And so using words at their frequency, we also want to use them at, with the grammar that we use frequently as well. And so with young language learners, they acquire language, they acquire grammar in a predictable order. And so the second most common acquired grammar is actually irregular past tense. So like went, ate. These are actually a lot easier to teach than third person singular. So like I ate, no. He is, she is, I am, you are. Like that's way more difficult than past tense. And yet we don't teach, people stay away from past tense to kindergarten students because it's scary. But if it's in the context of a story, then it's not challenging, and it can be very fun. And for parents, it's super impressive when they see their kids saying, our bad pig character eats the rice of the mummy. And so, to see our kids, to see their children going, hey, you ate mom's rice, and using past tense in a very natural way, it's pretty impressive to the parents as well. So I'm gonna first go over sort of the story-based teaching, and then how to set up showcasing. And this is probably the most important part of using this kind of story-based teaching, but also just in general. Even if you don't use story-based teaching right now, like these are some things that you probably could do before you get started in story-based teaching. Story-based teaching makes it a lot easier to do these things. So first of all, home study. So we have these talking flashcards, which actually Jared helped. I think Jared helped make these, maybe, right, Jared? These ones?
I did make some of the first ones, and then you used those to whip up, loads after that.
Yeah, thank you. So these are basically like we give QR codes to our parents, and then they can just pre-study the vocabulary, because I think we can all agree that if our kids come with the simpler words that they can learn, or at least they can learn them on their own prior to the lesson, then I think that it's a lot easier for us to to do the higher level stuff. And so just quick example of this
Jill
one.
and Dave's Magic House Book 3. Talking flashcards. Utensils. Fork. Fork.
Fork.
It's a fork.
It's a fork.
Knife. Knife. It's a knife.
Yep. So basically that's it. So and we try to tell the parents, if possible, hug their children while watching this. So there's this sense of, you know, we're together and it's mommy and daddy, it's mommy and child, or daddy and child time. And then yeah, so we like to sort of create a connection, a family connection as well with, you know, when they're doing these kind of things, to just, you know, that's just a simple little thing. And so then we give them parents' lesson plans. And so one thing, when I talked about this sort of previously today, I was saying that we started losing the higher level students in our kindergarten classes. And so what I want to sort of encourage today is basically, you know, monster, in Japan they call them monster parents, right? Like monster parents, they call them that. But what we say in our school, we have our theme is like monster kara star parents ni naru. So take the monster and turn them into star parents. And so monster becomes a star, basically, right? It doesn't work in English, but in Japanese, so that's what we say: turn our monsters into stars. And so the monster parents, they're, you know, if you turn those people, they're intimidating people by nature. But if you turn them into a raving fan, they're gonna bring in, and they'll defend you. Like they will rip people whatever is can be ripped. But so basically, you know, you imagine you turn these quote unquote monster parents into star parents. They'll be out in the shopping center and they'll be like, I go to this school and it's great, and da da da. And they're like, well, I go to this school. You go to where? Oh, why would you go to the middle? And then they become the monster to their friends, but they end up, you know, bringing a lot of students. So creating raving fans or star parents from monster parents is very powerful. And to do that, you have to create a, you know, giving them the tools to take things to the next level. Because in your class, if you mix levels, there is a slight limit to how high you can go in some of the classes. And so giving the parents that ability to go higher at home, or at least help you in some ways, is important. So we give them these parents' lesson plans. Now it's sometimes it's a bit dangerous to give parents things to do at home, because they can take the joy out of learning. So we teach them a little bit. And so we've graded our homework. We grade these. So we tell the parents, you must do the beginner one first. And the beginner one is very passive, where the parent is saying things like, touch the spoon, touch the fork. And the child is just doing it. And then once they can do that, then we say, okay, then you can move up a little bit and ask, you know, is it clean or dirty? Dirty. And we sort of coach the parents in not pushing and just doing natural steps like we would. And that basically, this kind of stuff just stops monster parents in their tracks. We're like, my child isn't progressing. Oh, thank you for coming and letting us know. We were really dedicated to making sure that happens. Have you been doing the homework? Have you used the parents' lesson plans? And they're like, oh, well, yeah, not quite yet. Oh, great. That's great news. So yeah, if you can get use those, and then the parents, you know, they never.
Can I jump in with something there, Scott?
Yep.
I know your time's a bit tight, but I think I love the approach of turning complaints or concerns into kind of a counseling opportunity. This is something that we've used a lot as well. I think what the strategy you're talking about with the lesson plans for parents, I think works great when the kids are small and cute. When they get older, the tendency to kind of turn that into real pressure in kind of increases. So
Yep.
do you do something similar with older elementary kids, or is there a different approach? No.
No, we don't do this. We only do this for kindergarten aged kids.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
for us, I mean, our materials are more focused on the elementary and the older elementary.
Yeah.
And we definitely do try to, we put a lot of counseling for parents in our books. Like
Yep.
there's lots of tips and study tips and things for parents to read. Because I do think like letting them into the language learning process and what it actually takes, and letting them understand that pressure can be counterproductive, can be really appreciated. Actually, we have a lot of parents that become big fans because we've brought them into the, behind the curtain and sort of let them understand about that. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and that's great. And like, on those pages that you have, it's, you have the can statements, and your can statements are even graded, like can do it like a little bit, very well. You have a triangle or, circle, triangle, or the system there. So that's fantastic. And I think one thing to remember is sometimes it's hard to like feel good about a monster parent, but you have to remember, like, nobody wants to be mean to their children, or nobody wants this pressure. So like relieving them of that pressure themselves is going to make them a big fan as well. And it kind of helps you to love them in a way. And I think it's important to feel compassion for those people who may come across as being stern or scary. They just want help. They really want help, and we're the people that can do that. So that's all I have to say about that. Moving along here. Sorry, guys. So crafts for us are take-home language. So basically, what we do is we have a series of crafts, and our rule for the crafts is, as much as possible, keep them within 8 minutes. So if we can't make the craft in 8 minutes, then we redesign it so that it can be made within 8 minutes. And the other rule is that we design the conversation that we have for this, for making the crafts. For this craft here, we also want to, if you're familiar with Bloom's taxonomy and sort of moving the kids up a scale of thinking ability, so what we do here is we just ask their names. Okay, so it's just reviewing. What's your name? My name is Yuzuki. Okay, how do you spell that? Then they spell their names. We write it. Then I put it on the floor. Okay, this is for you. Okay, and then I put all the kids' cups on the floor, but I don't give it to them yet. And so then I ask all the students. I take out some crayons, and I wonder if I have my crayon. Nope. So I take out some crayons, and then I say, okay, guys, what color is this? It's green. What color is this? It's purple. Is this purple? No, it's black. Is this black? No, it's red. Is this red? Yes. Is this blue? Yes. So I use switching between various questions when asking, reviewing colors, so they get used to listening carefully and not just repeating. And then I take them onto a creative journey. I'll take out pink because it tends to be the easiest, and I choose pink because in Japanese it's pink. And then also peach. They tend to know the word peach very, very, because there's a lot of candy, peach yaji or something. So then I say, okay, this is pink, but this is now magic. It is juice, and this is peach juice. This is peach juice. I tell them about the pink crayon, and so then I bring out the purple crayon, and I say, okay, guys, what's this? And then one kid, there's always that one kid who just wants to speak quickly. So they're like, purple. But the other kids, they stay a bit quiet. And they're like, grape juice? Yeah, it's grape juice. And then I, bring out all the other crayons and let them choose the flavor. This green, what flavor is this? What kind of juice is this? It's melon juice. It's grape juice. And I try not to say, yes, you're right. But I do say that so often, and I kick myself, but I try to keep the doors open. Yellow, lemon, banana, apple. So red could be strawberries. Some people say apple, though we all know Apple juice isn't red, but they do that anyways. And so letting them think and create, and brown, we get the coffee, chocolate, chocolate juice, chocolate milk, blah, blah, blah. So, getting a lot of answers there. And so then we say, okay, so let's color our drinks. So they all come up and then they ask, I open the crayon box and they don't say, may I have blue, please? They say, may I have some lemon juice, please? Or may I have some strawberry juice, please? But we're just giving out crayons, right? So then they color their drink, and then they all sit down, but they leave their drinks on the floor. Then I go through a routine, and the routine is always the same every time I do this craft, where I say, okay, now let's all stand up, come here, touch your drink, and say, this is my drink, and tell me. So then they all come running up and they all touch their drinks and say, this is my drink, this is my drink. Oh, really? What's your name? My name is Yuzuki. Oh, wow. Is it grape juice? No, it's orange juice. So we can have a little conversation about this one simple piece of paper. If you'll notice on the chart here, it has stars. So they can touch word by word. They go, this is my drink. And then they can follow the arrow. This is my drink. So break it down and then put it together. All kinds of things you can do with this super simple craft. And it's so easy to store, easy to print, easy to do and make, but it's such value. The language value is massive. And so then they can bring it home, and we tell them to tell their parents about it. So some of the kids go home and say, look, this is my drink, apple juice, mommy, apple juice, here you are, that kind of stuff. So then here are a few more crafts that have language built into them. So you'll see on the left here, they can choose which one they want. May I have a blue one, please? Red one, green or blue, green or red. And then we say, okay, what do you want? What do you want? And this could be Christmas or birthday theme, either one. So what do you want for Christmas? I want a robot. I want a doll. I want a train. So before receiving the thing, they're saying, I want. Then they color their present. They can talk about it. It's green, it's blue. It's a highlighter that I found on the desk because I didn't have any crayons. So then they choose their gift. And in this case, here's some of the language they could use. This is my present. It's blue. I want the doll. I got the robot. So when they open it, because of the context of the situation, they open it and they're like, I got a robot. But prior to that, they're saying, I want. So it's getting them used to more language that we would consider challenging, but because it's in context, we don't need to worry as much about doing the whole like got is yesterday, past yesterday, you got that one, right? So we don't need to do that too much because they're in the context of the situation. And here's another one. This is probably the most popular one. And it's a closet. This is based on one of the stories. And so they choose who they want to be. I want to be Jill. I want to be Jay. I want to be Boogie. Okay, here you are. Hide, everybody. Hide in the closet. So they glue their characters in the closet, and then we do this in class. We practice in class where the kids hold their little closet. Where's mine? So the kids hold their little closet like this. And they say, come here, open the closet. And then we go, boo, right? Mine is not glued in, but the kids, they get ready and they say, boo. And then we act scared. Whoa, I'm scared. And so we teach them to say this to their parents as well. So then, their parents arrive at the school and they're like, Daddy, come here, open the closet. And the father's like, woo, and oh. And so just creating this bring home English, which is, the parents are always just like so happy when their children sort of try to use English on them. So here's a sample of some of the language. All these are obviously built from high frequency words. Come here, Daddy, Mommy, open the closet. Boo, are you scared? And then the language that you can use for this one is, oh no, oops. who made me into this horrible puppet? How's that for luck? Scott didn't even take the time to cut out my other hand. That's some target language you can use for this doll. It's so ugly. But anyway, so right now we're working on these kind of little character puppets as well that our students can use to sort of talk to each other and have fun with each other. So that's the idea of creating crafts that have a specific target language that's connected to them, and then allowing the kids to sort of bring those home and then use that language with their parents so that the parents can see a result. But it's not that they care about the result. It's just that, you know, they're the joy of communicating in another language is sort of being brought to their house, and that's just crazy good. So here's a sample of one of our stories. And I'm hungry. Oh, me too. Let's get snacks for me and you. Go to the kitchen, open the fridge, go inside and cross the bridge. This is Snackland, isn't it great? Bring a cup and bring a plate. Use a spoon or use a fork. Have some soup or have some pork. Have some French fries, have some chips. Have some pizza and chicken nuggets. Let's go home now, I'm so full. Heavy dishes, pull, pull, pull. Uh-oh, mommy's here. What a mess, you kids are bad. Wash the dishes, I am sad. Woo-hoo-hoo. Uh-oh, over here and over there, dirty dishes everywhere. Let's clean the kitchen. 1, 2, 3. Soap for you and soap for me. Wash, wash, wash. This is fun. Look, kids, look, we are done. Yay. So that's the story, which gives sort of the context of what we can create. And so we're out of time here. So it's 12 now. So I'll just zip to a quick video that shows. But basically what we do is we take this story, we do TPR, and so that, you know, they go to the kitchen, open the fridge, go inside and cross the bridge. So getting into the rhythm of the story, going to the magical snack land. And then in the snack land, we create a little snack stand. And so we review the food, put the food on the floor, and then we create a 2-level system where experienced students, they can manage the snack stand, and the newer students, they are the customers. So we're creating a 2-tier sort of level system, which is really enjoyable and natural. So the more experienced students, they could say, are you hungry? And less experienced students are the B. So their answers are mostly 1-word or 2-word answers, whereas the A students are the slightly more experienced students. They have the more challenging language. So are you hungry? Yes. Do you want a snack? Yes, please. Which one do you want? Pizza, please. Or some pizza, please. Here you are. Thank you. How much? 2 coins, please. And we have little plastic coins. And so they give them coins, which is, you know, obviously number practice. So they do this snack stand, which is in itself very cool and very good. And then because they've eaten food, we make the dishes dirty. And so what we have is our dish flashcards are actually they're laminated. So what we do is we take a whiteboard, a black whiteboard marker, and we color on it so that it's erasable. And so the dishes become dirty, and then the kids, as they do in the story, they go home back to their house. Just a minute here. Oops. So we can set up a snack stand here using the characters as well. So grandpa could run this one snack stand, grandma runs the other one. And we let the kids choose who they want to be. So I want to be grandpa, I want to be grandma, and then they can run their snack stand, get the dishes dirty. And then I'm going to just skip through this real quick. So the plan is that I was going to ask you guys, okay, which one do you want? A dirty plate or a clean plate? asking children choices, giving children choices with an or question really helps to make them have them use language, the target language. So instead of saying, so you would say, okay, do you want a dirty plate or a clean plate? They're either going to say dirty or dirty plate. So it kind of puts them in the position to use the target language. So yeah, do you want a dirty plate or a clean plate? Dirty plate, please. Or you can level them up to, may I have a dirty plate, please? And because the children are all aware of the context of the story, it's not like they're going to get confused. If one student says, may I have a dirty plate, please? They're fine with just dirty plate, please. And we don't put pressure on the lower level students or the beginner students to say the longer sentence until they're ready. So if a student were to say like, okay, which one do you want? Dirty plate, please. I'm kind of thinking they might be ready to move up. So I say, okay, let's try a super challenge. May I have a dirty plate, please? And then they're usually able to do it. But if they say, dirty, I'm not going to push them to move up to the next larger chunk of language. So adjective, and then mommy comes in, mommy gets sad. Oh, I'm sad. And then I ask the children, mommy is sad. Oh no, what should we do? Have them think a little bit, right? And so then usually some kids they'll start shouting, wash, 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 wash. Okay, so then we wash the dishes, do, and then they become clean. And then we sing a song. Okay, that was a good idea, guys. We washed the dishes. Maybe that'll make mommy happy. So we sing a song. I'll play just a little bit of it. Wash up plate, wash up plate, make mommy happy. Wash up plate, wash us food. Anyways, so we do gestures to the song, obviously, so they're wash a plate, wash a cup, make mommy happy. Oh, it's gonna get me to cry. But anyway, so the target language is also built into the song in an easy and clear way, so that the children are able to sort of, if they can't say some of the language, then we sing the song, and then that helps them to be able to say it when we need to say it. So so we wash the things. I'm just going to skip through this stuff quickly. So, but the language that we can use is there's a lot. So we can get the kids to say, okay, we put mommy off to the side behind the bedroom flashcard, and we say, okay, mommy is sad. But guys, where is mommy? Where is mommy? And then they're all like, bedroom, bedroom. Oh, then I recast the language back. You mean in the bedroom? And then they all say yes. But one thing to be careful of is not making them repeat after you in an unnatural way. So I wouldn't say in the bedroom. Let's all say in the bedroom. Come on, copy me. I would say in the bedroom. Yes. Oh, okay. No, wait. You mean in the living room? No. In the bedroom. They want to correct incorrect information more than say something if you ask an open-ended question. So that's one little tip there. And so, yeah, where's mommy? In the bedroom. Okay, let's get mommy over here. Mommy, come here. And then mommy comes in. Look, we cleaned the spoon. Yay, I'm happy. Then she looks at another item and it's dirty, and she runs away again. So lots of repetition and progress through the narrative. So I'm going to just skip through all this stuff here and go to the video, which before the video, I'll show some of the language here, and then I'll just show you a quick video, and then we'll finish up. Oh no, the cup is dirty. I'm sad. Wash the cup. Mommy, come here. Where are you? I'm in the kitchen. Oh, what? Oh, okay. What? Look, it's clean. Thank you. Now I can eat my soup with my oh no, my bowl is dirty. And repeat. So here it is. This is a very quiet class, and they're very shy. So it just goes to show, like, there's about a year and a half for some of the students, and some of the students are just like a few months. And you'll see two boys, one on the yellow chair, one on the blue. They've only been in the class for 2 months. And I want you to kind of just watch them. Sometimes they get distracted, but what's interesting is that they're not bothered by the fact that they don't understand the language, because they know what's going on in the class. Okay, here we go. So let's all say, okay, so look at the glasses and stuff. Is this clean? Dirty, oh no. But maybe mommy can help us. But guys, where is mommy? What's that? One more time. Oh, she's in the bedroom. Okay, so what should we do? And this is only the second time they've done this. Oh, good idea. One more time. Hello. I'm so happy because I want a drink from my. Oh no, my glass. I'm sad. Oh, guys, mommy is sad. Oh, what should we do? What's that? Go to the kitchen. Okay, so let's go to the kitchen. Go to the kitchen. And look, it's a cupboard. Oh, I know. Let's put the glass in the cupboard. What? One more time. Wash the dishes. Oh, okay. What should I use? Spoon? What's that? Oh, but where are the sponges? Where? There. Oh, thank you. Okay, so let's all sit down. And oh no! So who wants to help me? Okay, Manami, come here. So come here. So you're gonna say to everyone, do you want a sponge? Yes, please. And I give away all the jobs that I usually do to students so that we maximize student talking time. This one, please. No, saying this one, please. This one? Okay, great. So let's sit down. Okay. So guys, very good. So now let's wash the glass. Who wants to wash the glass? 1, 2. Let's come and wash the glass. In my hand, you say, wash a glass. Wash a glass. Make mommy happy. Wash a glass. Now let's sit down. Go. Now guys, look. Is the glass? Is it clean? Okay, sorry. Oh, find your chair. Okay. Thank you. Okay, and Maya, let's put it behind your chair. Okay. It's like 2.5 minutes more, and then we'll end the seminar like real quick after that. Sorry about the overtime. Okay. So now, everybody. Oh, buddy, thank you. So look, we have our glass. Is it clean or dirty? Clean. Okay. So let's call mommy. Okay. Ready? Mommy. Okay. I'm so sad. Jared. It's clean. I'm so happy. Yay. Okay. And now. So Nick, I see your hand up. I'll get to you right after this. Oh, the spoon is dirty. I'm sad. Okay. Bye. So, look, what's that? Wash the spoon. Oh, let's all try it one more time. Wash the spoon. Okay.
Who wants to wash the spoon? Okay, 1, 2, ready, go.
So even something as simple as that, where I'm saying, who wants to wash a spoon? And all the kids are like, I do. Parents really like, they think that's really cool because it's such just simple, but it's quite natural.
Is it clean or dirty? So, where are you? Are you in the living room? No. Are you in the kitchen? Yes. Okay. I'm so sad. The spoon is dirty.
The spoon is actually clean.
So let's all tell mommy she's not looking. Let's all say, look. Look, okay. Oh, it's clean. I'm so happy, yay. But the fork is dirty. I'm sad. Oh no. So, guys, oh, what should we do?
So see all those the ninja show kids are like so into it as well. Like
Eat the fork. One more time. Wash the spoon. One more time. Let's wash the fork. Okay, who wants to wash the fork?
yeah, and there you have it. Yeah, so so that's kind of in a nutshell, just sort of, you know, how we can get the kids to use all kinds of different language targets. We brought the vocabulary in there. The newer kids, they were very engaged because we have, you know, the situation is clear. And what's really cool is that usually when you think of repetition is considered sometimes boring. Oh, we're doing it again and again. But when it's a story that's developing like that, and you saw how the kids, where the mom looked at the spoon, it's clean, yay! But now the fork is dirty, man. And then the kids are like, wham, 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 wham. Oh no, not again. So it creates this building of energy instead of the sense of it being a heavy, you know, again, and now we got to do this again. And so, yeah, so let's get to Nick's question. Jared,